Welcome to Good News and Interviews with Forrest Lee. It's August the 16th on a Monday night, and you can watch this show live here at Troy Cable Channel 2 from 7 till 8 o'clock. The replays will be Wednesday nights from 8 till 9 this Wednesday, and following this Wednesday, the show will be moved a little bit later for replays because it will start the Wednesday night coaches football show. You can also follow us on Facebook. Go to the search engine and type in capital T, capital C2, Good News and Interviews, and you can see tonight's show live. We have some free rodeo passes to show. Nate, if you can show that little card that I sent you, if you had a chance to, right there. The first caller at 770-3352 this weekend, Friday and Saturday night, in Ozark, Alabama, we have the South Alabama Pro Rodeo Classic. Tickets for children are $8. For adults, they're $10, and you can buy tickets at Don Walker Western Wear here in Troy, Alabama, at Genomax State Farm in Ozark, and at the Ozark Collision Center. It will be at the Agplex Arena in Ozark, Alabama, this Friday and Saturday night, starting at 8 p.m. So first caller at 770-3352, you win 2 complimentary tickets. And the winners can pick these up at the office of Troy Cable here on South Brundage Street. Also would like to thank last show's guest, Jim Bordeaux of Bordeaux's Vintage Sauces and Spices. And you can pick these up at Southern Grill and Patio on North 3 Knott Street at the same location where Town and Country Flooring is located. We had some ladies to sample these sauces with us on our last show, and this is the Sweet Island Bordeaux sauce. It's made of natural ingredients, and we also have the Bordeaux's 1940s Old Southern Barbecue. They have 4 styles of barbecue sauce there at Southern Grill and Patio. We would also like to thank the distinguished young women winners of Pike County. Dee Allen, Abby K. Terry, and Kathy Stockstill were on the show. Next week, we have Perry Brown. He's a local pastor, and he's a fabulous singer, and he'll be with us. And Miss Amy Warwick, who teaches and coaches at Goshen High School, she'll be talking about the Lady Eagle volleyball team. Tonight, in a few minutes, we'll have Sonny Kirkpatrick. He's the head volleyball coach at Charles Henderson High School. And he has a player with him, Madison Stewart. She's one of the seniors at Charles Henderson High School. She'll be with us. And then later on, we'll have Robin Snyder of Pike Liberal Arts. He's the new JV football coach and the head softball coach at Pike Liberal Arts. We have a new sponsor on the show, Meeks Termite. Well, I'd like to thank Greg Meeks and his staff and his men and ladies there in the office and for what they do for our area of controlling the insects that we have. And this time I'd like to go over the rest of our sponsors of the show. Troy Bank and Trust Company. They have 14 locations here in this part of Alabama, 4 here in Troy, 2 in Brundage, 1 in Goshen, just to name a few. Troy Paint and Body, Dawn and Derek Broadway. Chimney Hot Sauces. Take the leap. Go to www.chimneysauce.com, and they have a variety of sauces that you can order. These are real good on wings. They're sweet, spicy, and smoky, this Chimney Rock hot sauce. Take the leap. Also, Pike Farmers Co-op. They have locations in Goshen and Troy, Alabama. And I recently went by and purchased some peanuts. They have about 3 different, we'll pick that up later. We have a variety of peanuts here that you can get there. Also, would like to thank Premier Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Troy and Jason Gregory and his staff, and Golden Boy Foods located on the Henderson Highway. Pond Stalker 2. They have a new device called the Pond Buddy. It can fertilize your pond or lake. You can call Jim at 403-2582 or Mr. Jet Trotter at 672-2314. Campbell's Produce, located on US 231 South, for all your fresh vegetable needs. They have boiled peanuts, watermelons, etc. Go see Miss Diane or Mr. Buck. Kelly Tires, Rex Grant, that's where I get my tires. Been doing that for years and years. I'd like to thank Kelly Tires. We've already mentioned Southern Grill and Patio. They have an array of grills that you can get. They have all kind of spices and sauces. Check out the Bordeaux's 1940s sauce. It's for steaks and shrimp and chicken and all those kind of things. It's made out of natural ingredients. The Old Barn Restaurant, located in Goshen, Alabama. Call 484-3200. Wallace Pumping Supply, Cot and Chip. The Wallace Brothers, located on US 231 South. Thank you for being a sponsor. Mr. Shear Qualls of Douglas Brothers, located on the Square. Mr. Joe Watson, Bird Drugs and the Daily Ladies. I love going to breakfast at Bird's Drugs. Go visit them on the Square. Whaley Pecans, Mr. Bob and Miss Mary and their family, thank you for being a sponsor. They have the best pecans in America, in the world, and I'm a big fan of the pecans. If I'm going to cook something, I use Whaley Pecans. Abby Lee Photography, Lenny Trawick, he's located on the Square. He gives guitar lessons, I think Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays at Flat Tops and Fiddles. Who's another sponsor, Mr. Donald Brown. Home Gallery, David and Sherry Hams. Brundage Country Club, great place to play golf. They're open Tuesday through Sunday. They have great rates. Go visit them. Go to Brundage. Go to the first red light on 231 and take a right, and it's located across from the Walmart Distribution Center. Sticky Frogs. Jennifer at Sticky Frogs for all your sign needs, your stickers, T-shirts, yard signs, whatever, political signs, etc. Those are just a few of the sponsors, and would like to thank them tremendously for being sponsors of our show. Also would like to thank State Farm, Mr. Bryant Smith, located here on South Brundage Street, for being a sponsor, as well as Piggly Wiggly, Steve and Jennifer Garrett. They have 2 locations, one on 3 Knott Street and one on 231. The Chicken Shack of Luverne, Alabama, 335-6566. It's located across from the Pepsi Cola plant. Go to Luverne, take a left like you're going to Brantley, and it'll be on your left. Billy Ann and Kevin Flowers. Put flowers in your yard if you're selling your home, or if you're looking for a place to own or rent. See and call the Flowers family at 635-2043. And Signature Hair Designs, I want to thank Shirley Ellis and her staff for being a sponsor. And Jackson Hardware, Mr. Brian McDaniels, located on Main Street in Brundage, Alabama. And ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back in just a minute with Miss Madison Stewart, Charles Henderson volleyball player, and her coach, Mr. Sonny Kirkpatrick. We'll be back after these messages.
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
Attention! Attention! PremierTroy.com. We want your trade. We'll buy your car. Whether you purchase a vehicle from us or not, pre-owned car values are at an all-time high. Trade your car for cash or a newer vehicle. It's your choice. Premier wants your car. Nobody beats a Premier deal. Nobody!
If you've had an accident or just want a new look for your vehicle, come see us at Troy Paint and Body, where we do it right the first time. Our staff has more than 100 years combined experience and can handle repairs and paint work on any make or model. We also offer a lifetime guarantee as long as you own your vehicle. Now that shows we stand behind our work. And our 24-hour towing service means we're here when you need us. So come see us at Troy Paint and Body, located on South Brundage Street in Troy beside the post office. Troy Paint and Body, where we may meet by accident, but you'll be glad we did.
starting August 20th.
Where should you go to find the best deals on a vehicle? Anywhere, anytime? PremierTroy.com. Shop our huge selection. PremierTroy.com. Pick your next vehicle. Pick your payment. Yes. Shop, save, and buy. PremierTroy.com. Nobody beats a Premier deal. Nobody.
Brundage Building Supply and Paint Center at Jackson Hardware. 120 years and counting of real customer service with a smile and a heartfelt thank you for visiting with us. PPE, lumber, paint, building supply and roofing, guns, ammunition, American-made items, and oh, by the way, hardware.
Welcome back to Good News and Interviews. We have two special guests. We have Miss Madison Stewart, who's a senior at Charles Citizen High School. She plays volleyball and softball for Charles Citizen. And this is Sonny Kirkpatrick. He is our head coach at Charles Citizen, our head volleyball coach. Do you coach any other sports?
No, sir, I do not.
Well, before we get into the interviews, I'd like to present Madison with some classic cheese straws, Betsy's. I got these at Bird's Drugs, one of our sponsors. These are for you. And there you go. And this is, I want to give Sonny a bottle of this Bordeaux's 1940s Old Southern Barbecue. You can get these at Southern Grill and Patio on North 39th Street here in Troy, Alabama. And there's a complimentary bottle on behalf of the Bordeaux family, Jim Bordeaux. And
thank you very much.
And Good News and Interviews. The history of volleyball. If any of our guests out there know where volleyball originated, what city and state, be the first caller, and you can win a container full of wonderful peanuts that I got at the Pike Farmers Co-op here in Troy, Alabama. You can get a variety. You can choose skinless. This is butter toffee, and I believe we have honey roasted. So the first caller at 770-3352 with the correct answer, you win a can of peanuts. All right, Coach, a little bit about your history. Your hometown is where?
It's York, Pennsylvania.
York?
Just a little bit east of Gettysburg, Pennsylvania.
Okay, you went to high school there.
Yes, sir, at Northeastern High School.
What about your collegiate career?
I went to Williamsport, up to Williamsport, Pennsylvania, home of the Little League World Series, which will be on ESPN here shortly.
All right.
And,
okay. Let's see here. Thank you for calling Good News and Interviews.
It was Holyoke, Massachusetts, 1895.
That is correct. What is your name?
Kellen Stewart.
I know Kellen Stewart.
I think
Madison knows
Kellen Stewart too.
Well, congratulations, Kellen. So would you like the skinless salted peanuts, or do you want the honey roasted or the butter toffee?
Butter toffee.
Well, okay, we'll send them home by your sister. Thank you for calling, Kellen.
Thank you.
All right, see ya.
How about that?
We had a winner.
Chip off the old block there. Nice job, Kellen.
All right, good. And so, Coach, what inspired you to get involved in coaching the sport of volleyball?
Well, I had played in high school. I was an all-state player in Pennsylvania. I was actually on a junior Olympic team before there was a thing called club volleyball, and we went to St. Joe's, Missouri, won a bronze medal out there. We were the only team from Pennsylvania to go out there, and we lost the two California teams. And then when I went to college, I actually was a soccer player when I started, and I got hurt a little bit and couldn't play anymore, and knew some girls that wanted a team, and we started a club team at the college I went to, Lycoming College, and I pushed for it to become a varsity sport, did all the paperwork for it, and lo and behold, the next year it became a varsity kind of sport in the process, and being that I was a student, I couldn't coach it.
Okay.
So I went back to helping out with soccer.
And that was club volleyball that you kind of started there.
It was a club team, just like Troy University has the club rugby team, or used to.
So collegiately, there is men's volleyball, but not so much in the south. It's northeast and in the west.
Correct.
Okay.
There was a little bit of boys volleyball down in the Mobile area,
Okay.
but other than that, the closest place would have to be the Jacksonville area.
Okay. So when you graduated college, what was your path as far as your career? As far as did you go into coaching right away?
Well, yes and no. I was a biology major with a chemistry minor, and I became a quality control chemist for 9 years. And the first year after I graduated, the coach that had taken over the program I started resigned, and I asked if I could have it back on a part-time basis, and they were good enough to let me have the program back.
And what college was that?
Lycoming College in
Okay.
Williamsport, Pennsylvania.
Well, how did you find Troy, Alabama?
Well, I took over that Division III team, turned an 0-16 team into a top 30 team in the country. I had the opportunity to go to a Division II school in South Carolina, Francis Marion University.
Okay.
Built that program up, won a conference championship, went to the NCAA tournament, and Troy University came calling for me to come to Troy.
Okay. And how long have you been at Charles Henson High School now, Coach?
This is my fifth year as a teacher.
Okay. A little bit now. What your family, if you will, Coach? Let's talk about your family real quick.
I've got a beautiful wife, Kathy Kirkpatrick, is our children's minister at Park Memorial United Methodist Church. I've got a daughter that is a junior at Troy University, Emma, and I have a junior daughter, Olivia, who is on our volleyball team at Charles Henderson.
Well, good. Well, good. All right. Let's talk about your players and coaches. Who are your coaches, Madison? We'll get you started here in a minute.
Pretty much just Coach Sonny. Our JV coach helps some, Coach
Okay.
Johnson, but it's usually just
Lana Johnson she's an amazing lady, and she has taken over our JV program and helps me out whenever we are on the road and I need another coach.
Before we get into the other players, Madison, I'm going to go ahead and ask you a few questions. Let's talk about your family. We know you have a little brother named Cullen because he just called it Ones and Peanuts.
yes.
All right. And
My mom's Amanda Stewart. She's now like at the middle school and high school doing like reading intervention. And my dad's Tommy Stewart, who works at Troy Table.
okay, I've met your parents and talked with your mother for a little bit at Troy Elementary School. I think that's when the first time I met her. And she's got a little bit of Crenshaw County in her as well. And now, Madison, so you are involved in volleyball and softball.
Yes, sir.
Tell us about when you graduate from Charles Henderson, what's the next step that you've decided to
Well, recently I've committed to Northwest Florida to play softball. It's a junior college in Niceville. So I'll be there 2 years, and hopefully after that I will continue to play softball somewhere
Okay.
else.
Do you have an idea, Madison, of what you would like to do as far as a career?
I'm undecided.
You're just going to just go down there and make all A's in your
Yes.
subjects, and then whatever comes. Well, that's great. Now, a question for you: besides volleyball and softball, in your spare time, what are some of your hobbies or things that you like doing?
Well, softball pretty much takes up like all of my time. So I don't really, when I'm not like doing that, I like hang out with my friends. But softball now, I'm on like a new travel ball team out of
Okay.
Louisiana. And so that pretty much takes up all my time.
Okay. But do you like art or music or what kind of just anyway, I thought I'd ask a question. Anyway, you'll find hobbies one day, but any activities, we've already talked softball and volleyball, any other activities outside of school that you're involved in, or any other activities at school, like any clubs or
I'm in the
organizations?
21 club
Okay.
with all my friends. I don't really know. That's
Okay.
about it.
All right. Well, Coach, let's talk about some of your players that you have on your team. Do you have that roster with you?
I do. I put it
Oh,
over there over
okay.
on the side of the desk there for
Okay,
you.
well, let's see if I can find it here. It's in some of these notes.
And I lied to you. It is over on the other table. So
Okay.
I've got the roster, so I can go ahead and roll with it.
Okay, yeah, if you know what it is.
I do.
Okay.
We have naturally Madison. We have two seniors. We have Madison Stewart here. We have Kelsey Hicks, who is another senior. And Kelsey's been playing since her 7th grade year down at the middle school with Coach Smart.
Okay.
We have 3 juniors on the team: Emma Bertram, naturally Olivia Kirkpatrick, and Hannah Sparrow.
I know all those.
You should know
Yeah,
everybody
I know
pretty much on
those.
that team.
Yeah.
Our sophomores are Madison Allen. We
Okay.
have Bess Dunn. We have
I know
Jordan
Ben.
Ogleclark,
Mhm.
Molly Garrett, and we have Honor Shipman. And then we have a freshman that we thought was good enough to help us out, Abby Key. And
Well, I
that
know
brings,
all of
that
those
brings up
girls. Yeah.
our varsity program.
Is that about 9 or 10?
It's 11.
It's 11.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you got 2 seniors, and the other senior could not be here tonight. She's working at
Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A, so go get you some Chick-fil-A. And,
Chick-fil-A, ask for Kelsey Hicks.
So, well, Coach, you said 2 seniors, 3 juniors.
5 sophomores, 1 freshman.
Okay, well, good. And what are some things that you've done this summer, Coach, as far as camps or that you do? Do y'all run a camp for youth?
We do not. We basically have open gyms through the month of June, and then we begin our AHSAA allows us to begin our practice season, competition season in the summer at the end of June, runs through July, and then we can start our practice. I believe it was August 2nd. We could start practice.
All right, so your JV program, Coach Smart, there's a middle school team.
Coach Smart does the middle school. Coach Johnson does our JVs.
Okay. And how many girls are involved with the JV program, and how many girls are with the middle school program?
I'm not sure. I think Coach Smart has between 16 and 18 at the middle school, and we have 12 on our JV team at the high school.
Okay. Have y'all had your first match?
We do not. We actually we have a tri-match at Dale County on Thursday.
This Thursday at Dale County. What time?
We play Daleville at 5 o'clock and Dale County at 6 o'clock.
Okay, is that varsity only to begin
Correct.
with? Okay, that's this Thursday. What about your first? Do you have another match on Friday or Saturday? Or
We do not.
Okay.
We play next Tuesday at Carroll High School.
Okay.
And that's varsity JV, and then we play varsity JV at home on Thursday.
So your next home game will be this Thursday week at Charles Citizen High School, and that'll be against who, Coach?
I believe it is Zion Chapel.
Okay. Now,
Oh, I'm sorry, it's Ayrton.
Ayrton, how does a person pay to get into the game? Do they have to go through a certain procedure?
We are on the GoFan app.
Okay, GoFan. Explain that, Coach, about GoFan.
GoFan is an app that you put on your phone where, just like any other app, you can pay online, and all you do is you show your virtual ticket to the people at the ticket takers at the door, even though they're not really taking tickets. And they just scan, redeem, and people can come in. And with COVID last year, it was a lot easier to do it that way, with making sure that everyone was sanitized and the temperatures were taken. And we've decided to continue to use that app this year.
Okay, so if you have a fan that's coming in the gym next Thursday, they'll get their monitor. Will they get?
We have not been told to
Okay.
take the temperatures
Okay.
as of yet. With everything that's going on with COVID,
Right.
that could change. But all we'll do is we'll look at their GoFan app and redeem the ticket. If they haven't bought it, they can buy it right there
Right.
on the premises.
Now, most of your schools that you play, do they do the same? Is it GoFan with them? Most of those schools.
Last year it was total GoFan.
GoFan.
No one took, probably 95% did not take money at the door.
Okay, so if you're going to an away game, go ahead and buy your tickets for you, your husband, your son, your mother and daddy, your grandparents, where to be on one phone. I guess you can have 6, and then all y'all enter the gym. Here it is. I know one time I went last year to a local school, and they would not take cash. I didn't know that. Went to a baseball game, and you got to pull it up. So I tried, and I didn't have cell phone coverage at that particular location. Had to walk to the parking lot, and finally got it and tried putting it on. I said, "Is that it?" And they said, "Yes." So it'd be nice if you go into a location that they would have a computer for you. Here's a 10, just keep the change, just put me in whatever. But it's the 21st century, I guess you'd call it. And now, Coach, who is? Do you have like a manager or scorekeeper that you'd like to?
We do. Lily Ryan is going to help us out, keeping score for us. She's outstanding, and that she and Marley Norris, who is on our JV team as well, when varsity plays, they do the book. And with them doing such a great job, it's less worry on me to have to worry about the score and everything, because they do a really great job of keeping up and being very, very accurate with it.
And, you know, one thing that the youth, especially the juniors and seniors, if you'll look into it, when you become an adult, when is the age can a person start actually calling? Does the rec department have rec volleyball for youth?
They have. They did not last year just because of COVID,
yeah.
but we had started a rec league, I believe it was about 3 years ago.
But I would recommend some of our young adults out there, even adults, to learn the procedure of officiating volleyball, because there's probably a good need for that, and or any kind of refereeing type thing. And when I was at Troy University in the physical education program, that was one of the requirements that we had to do under the portion of volleyball, was we had to officiate the intramural volleyball program at Troy University at the time for all it was just girls or females at the time, but I think they have male and female now. But so Coach, well, do you have can you pull up your schedule, the rest of your, who's in your area? That's what I want to ask you.
Area is us, Andalusia, and Greenville.
Okay. And you'll play home and away.
Correct.
So in order, at the end of the season, will there be an area tournament to determine?
Yes. The area winner will host the area tournament.
Okay.
And then the top 2 teams in the area tournament go to the regionals.
Okay. Where will the regionals be held this year?
I don't know yet. I believe they're going back to Montgomery. Last year, they went to host sites.
Okay.
We got to travel to Elmore County High School in the first round. Andalusia won the area tournament, so they got to host Marbury last year.
Okay.
And I believe they're going back to a centralized site.
Okay. So after you go to the area, then you have the regionals. The 2 top teams from the area qualify for the regionals.
Correct.
Then when you go to the regionals, do the 2 top teams advance top four advance to the state tournament? Is the state tournament again held in Montgomery?
It's in Birmingham.
It's in Birmingham this year at the Jefferson.
The BJCC.
The Birmingham Jefferson Civic Center. So that's the steps and sequence of that. And in 5A volleyball, that's what Charles Citizens classified as 5A. There's 7 through 1. And there's probably, my guess, about 60 to 65 teams that compete in volleyball in 5A.
Probably a little bit more than that.
Yep, because I know football's about 62, basketball, volleyball is probably a little bit more. All right, I'm going to ask you a thought question. No, I'm not going to ask that question. But, yeah, I will ask it. Just a thought. All right, say, for example, Coach, the Alabama High School Athletic Association and the Alabama Independent School Association. Say, for example, if the powers to be could merge, that in the regular season, play who you can play locally with some area teams and with other teams, but in the playoffs for all sports, all parochial and private schools have your state championships on this side of the spectrum, and all your true public schools have your state championship on this side of the spectrum, because in essence, the teams that dominate championships are your Bayside Academies, are your Mobile Christians, are your McGill Tulans, are where there's no jurisdictional boundaries for those schools, even though they're charged 1.3, whatever the equation is. You know, still play them in the regular season if you have to, but in the playoffs, you have this side and that side. You don't have to answer that, but that's just a thought that I've had with, through the years, it's all sports being dominated as far as championships by those schools who are private in nature, so to speak. But you don't have to answer that. That's just a thought of mine. Let's see, any other questions I have here? Let's see. Coach, what would you like to say about your administration and your parents as far as the support that you've received since you've been at Charles Citizen this year?
It's been amazing. One, our parents are total rock stars, varsity JV, everything that I've asked them to do in terms of helping our program, they have met and exceeded the expectations. Administration has been very, very supportive of everything we're trying to build in terms of a program. And, you know, I like our team this year. We've got really good chemistry. I think we're going to be fairly competitive, which we haven't been in the last couple of years, to be quite honest. And we are not a physical team. Madison's one of our tallest players, and she's 5'7.5", maybe 5'8". So we have to do it with ball control and find a way to put a ball on the floor every now and then.
All right, Coach, our superintendent for Troy City Schools is Miss Cynthia Thomas.
Yes.
Who are the administrators now at Charles Simpson High School?
Lisa Fason's our principal,
Okay.
and then we have Miss Marjorie Lane and Mr. Angelo Wheeler as our assistant principals.
Okay. And who is the athletic director?
The athletic director is Quinn Hambright,
Okay.
our football coach. He's in his
Okay.
first year and got there, I believe, in March.
All right, so this time of year we have, of course, cheerleaders full strength. You got football, you got volleyball, cross country. Who's the cross country coach?
Khadijah Neely, our softball coach, is
Okay.
also
Yeah.
our
I've
cross
had
country.
her on the show. She's sensational.
She's amazing.
But listen, Madison, I want to wish you the best this year. I hope you have a great senior year
Thank you.
in all aspects. And I've enjoyed getting to know your family. And Sonny, I want to wish you the best as far as your teaching and coaching. And, you know, I've been around both of your girls and think a lot of them. And ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back in just a few minutes, but I want to thank the Charles Henderson High volleyball coach, Mr. Sonny Kirkpatrick, for being on the show, and Madison Stewart, one of the seniors. We'll be back in just a few minutes after these messages.
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
Attention! Attention! PremierTroy.com. We want your trade. We'll buy your car. Whether you purchase a vehicle from us or not, pre-owned car values are at an all-time high. Trade your car for cash or a newer vehicle. It's your choice. Premier wants your car. Nobody beats a Premier deal. Nobody!
If you've had an accident or just want a new look for your vehicle, come see us at Troy Paint and Body, where we do it right the first time. Our staff has more than 100 years combined experience and can handle repairs and paint work on any make or model. We also offer a lifetime guarantee as long as you own your vehicle. Now that shows we stand behind our work. And our 24-hour towing service means we're here when you need us. So come see us at Troy Paint and Body, located on South Brundage Street in Troy beside the post office. Troy Paint and Body, where we may meet by accident, but you'll be glad we did.
Are you ready?
Starting August 20th.
Where should you go to find the best deals on a vehicle? Anywhere, anytime? PremierTroy.com. Shop our huge selection. PremierTroy.com. Pick your next vehicle. Pick your payment. Yes. Shop, save, and buy. PremierTroy.com. Nobody beats a Premier deal. Nobody.
Brundage Building Supply and Paint Center at Jackson Hardware. 120 years and counting of real customer service with a smile and a heartfelt thank you for visiting with us. PPE, lumber, paint, building supply and roofing, guns, ammunition, American-made items, and oh, by the way, hardware.
Welcome back to Good News and Interviews with Forrest Lee. We have another special guest with us tonight, Robin W. Snyder. I've been knowing Robin and his family for a long time. Robin, thank you for coming.
Thank you, Forrest, for having me.
Um, uh, Robin, let's go ahead and, if you will, tell us about your hometown, your high school, your collegiate career, and all that stuff.
All right. Well, of course, I grew up in Goshen, Alabama, graduate of Goshen High School in class of 1988. And I went to Troy University, Troy State University at the time. Now it's Troy University. Majored in business marketing. Graduated there in '92 and worked a couple of years and went back and got my education degree in special education. And in '96, '97 was my first year teaching and coaching at Ayrton High School down in Ayrton, Alabama. I taught there for 1 year, and then after that, I moved to Charles Henderson Middle School, where I taught for 18 years. Then I went to the high school for a year, and then I went to Zion Chapel High School for a year and a half, and finished up my last 5 years at Troy Elementary School teaching PE, and retired last year and moved over to Pike Lib.
Right. Well, a unique thing about Robin and I, of course, I played Little League Baseball, and his dad, Keith, and Byron Wilkes, and Jerry Wilkes, and Larry Snyder, Uncle Larry, and Dusty Rhodes, and Mike Flowers, and just a plethora of men, Tommy Davenport. That's who started the Little League program. Mr. H.W. Farmer and others started the program, Mr. Horn, and Goshen. And then I can remember Keith Snyder had 3 little boys running around the park, and of course Miss Linda, one of my favorite people in America. And today, August the 16th, is when Elvis passed away. And I would sing a song for Linda, maybe later. But anyway, when I got into teaching, Robin was a senior at Goshen High School.
That's right.
And your head coach was?
Coach David Helms.
David E. Helms. He loves olives, Dr. Peppers, and Mountain Dews. And then I left there and went to Georgia, and then taught for 9 years. And when I come back to the middle school, Robin and I were teaching at the same school, Charles Henderson Middle School. And it was David Helms that kind of reeled us in. And at that time, I was a head coach for about 6 years or so, and then Robin became the head coach, and
that's right.
You were very successful there in that capacity. Robin, if you will, let's talk about your parents and your wife and children. Let everybody know who they are.
My parents are Keith and Linda Snyder, and they're products of Goshen, Alabama, of course, and all graduates. And my 2 brothers, Brian and Bart, which are both graduates of Goshen, Alabama. You know, I think a lot of my family, like we all say, you know, the 3 F's, faith, family, and finances. And you know, that's sort of what we believe and how we live our lives and all. And then, of course, my family is, I'm married Tracy Spivey, who was a graduate of Charles Henderson High School. And we have 4 kids, Rose, who is 22, Braden and Brienne, our twins, are 17, and juniors at Pike Lib, and our youngest one is Parks, and he is 15 and a 9th grader at Pike Lib.
Well, you got a wedding coming up, Robin.
Yes, we do.
Rose is, her fiance is?
Hunter Oswald.
Hunter Oswald.
Hunter's a graduate of Zion Chapel.
Okay, so
a
you
good
got a wedding
young man.
Yeah. You're in the process of building a house. So
yeah.
You got a lot of things going on.
Yes, we do.
All right,
yes,
now, I want to ask you a question, Robin. I know, of course, your dad. What inspired you, or who are some of the teachers at Goshen and at maybe college, or coaches that have inspired your path as to where you are right now? Like some of your teachers.
Right. Well, I definitely, at Goshen, I had a lot of different teachers that touched my life. I mean, all the way from elementary through high school. And, of course, my mom was a teacher's aide and drove the bus and stuff and she was a special ed aide. And, you know, that just sort of being around that my entire life. And, of course, my dad coaching and doing the things he did. And us growing up, and, of course, we grew up with a sports background. And, you know, it just sort of led me to that, in that direction, to be an educator and be a coach. You know, it's one of those things that I just felt like that was my calling to do, and I enjoy doing it and look forward to many more years of doing it, and have enjoyed my 25 years up to this point in coaching and teaching. And it's an honor to work with the kids that I've worked with over the years in Dale County and Pike County, Coffee County, and at Pike Lib now. And, you know, I look forward to it.
Robin, who were your high school football coaches?
Well, my first 7th and 8th grade was Eddie Gibbs, and then Butch Norris took over my 9th and 10th grade year and 11th grade year. I think that's right. And then my senior year was David Helms, his first year as the head coach. Of course, he went on and had several successful years after that. And, you know, of course, he and Coach Mike Edwards, Coach Calvin Griffin, you know, those coaches like that I was able to play under, Coach Butch Norris, all touched my life, you know, and of course Roy Stroud that helped with the baseball program when I was playing baseball, you know, and you know, and a lot of other different people, just like my Uncle Larry, Roy Farmer, you know, I can name a lot of other people that have touched my life over the years that have helped me to sort of follow in this path.
Mm-hmm. Well, one thing, a couple of people that you mentioned, David Helms, that's where when I first started teaching,
right.
David was the head coach, and he had me start the JV program.
Right.
I think I'd average 11, 12 players a day. Today I may have 11. Well, the next day I'd have 11, but it'd be 2 or 3 missing. Then the next day I'd have 11.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when we all showed up, it was just, you know, main thing was the transportation of how those kids would get home, because Goshen was located in that area of the county, and everybody else was from here to Montgomery County just about. But you mentioned Mike Edwards. Mike was one of my coaches, and I think the world of Mike and his wife Belinda. But Calvin Griffin, when I was a junior, Mickey Till was our head football coach.
Right, right.
And Calvin Griffin, I can remember Coach Griffin came on a Friday, fresh out of Alabama State. So Coach Till makes his speech, and Calvin, he said, Coach Griffin, is there anything you'd like to say? He said, Coach, he said, men, he said, gentlemen, he said, if your mind is in the game, your body will automatically follow. That's all I got to say. That was Coach Griffin, and just a tremendous person. And okay, Robin, now Pike Liberal, of course, you spent 25 years in public schools. Now
That's right.
You're at Pike Liberal Arts.
That's right.
And I've taken a position out there too, teaching. But what are your roles as far as teaching and coaching at Pike Liberal Arts this upcoming year?
Well, teaching-wise, I'll be a physical education teacher and work with all the different grade levels and classes. And then as far as coaching, I'm helping with the varsity team, and then going to be the head JV football coach, and then I'll be the head softball coach and be over the softball program, and that's what I'll be doing.
Okay. Now, softball, were you able to work with the girls a little bit this summer?
Yes, we had some open field dates that we had some of the girls come out, the ones that were, you know, interested, and we have several that played on the rec ball teams in the World Series, and then we got several that play travel ball. So, you know, we had a good turnout. I hope to meet with the girls either this week or next week and find out how many are interested in playing, and, you know, get the ball rolling in that aspect. You know, and the good thing about a Pike Lib is it's a small school, so you got a lot of athletes that play a lot of sports. And so, you know, you have to wait till they finish that sport to get them into another sport or your sport. So sometimes, you know, it's good that they are able to play so many different sports, because, you know, in high school, it's about doing things you enjoy doing. And, you know, there are a very few number that ever move on to the collegiate level. But, you know, you want to give them that opportunity as well. But most of the kids you coach will never play after high school. So you want them to play and do the things that they enjoy doing. And that's, you know, what we hope we can give them the opportunity to do.
Mm-hmm. Well, on staff in physical education, who are some other teachers Now, you're new, but who are some other teachers that you'll be with in the physical education program?
Well, Miss Donna Copeland has been there a while and been a physical education teacher there. Charlie Schofield, I think he's been there 3 or 4 years now. And then, of course, this year, her first year teaching is Miss Coach Allie Smith, who's come to us from Arkansas and is a graduate of the University of Arkansas. And like I said, this will be her first year teaching, and so I look forward to working with all 3 of those.
Right. All right. Now, Robin, before we get to the varsity football coaches, who will be helping you with JV as far as coaching? Do you have?
Well, the head coach, of course, is Mario White,
Okay.
and the way Coach White does the program is he likes for all of his coaches to participate, both varsity and JV. Naturally, there are going to be some coaches that have bigger roles on the varsity, so game days with JV, they may not be able to be at all the JV games, but it'll be myself, Coach Ryan McCullough, Coach Max, and of course Coach White will be there, and of course Coach Charlie Schofield, Coach Cornelius Griffin, Coach Dee Brundage, Coach Mike Wilcoxon. You know, those are all the main coaches, and those will all, and Coach Rush Hickson will all be playing a part in both teams. And how much they're able to help on the games, I'm sure, you know, home games they'll be able to participate and help more. Right. But, you know, the main thing will be Coach, myself, Coach McCullough, and Coach White and Coach Mack.
Okay. Now, will you call the offensive plays for JV, or
Coach McCullough will probably do the offense, and I'll probably do the defense. You know, just depending, and we'll see.
Your role on Friday night, do you have a certain responsibility on Friday night?
I help with the defense,
okay.
Defensive analyst for them, trying to help them pick up things that the other teams are doing offensively.
And Cornelius Griffin is the defensive coordinator.
That's right.
And Dee Brundage will be the offensive coordinator.
That's right. Yeah.
Is there a special teams coordinator?
Coach Charlie Schofield is going to be over the special teams,
okay.
along with Coach White. Him and Coach White are going to sort of tag team that, and Coach Schofield will be the linebackers coach. Coach Rush Hickson will be the wide receivers coach. Coach Ryan McCullough will be the offensive line coach. And, of course, like you said, Coach Cornelius Griffin is the defensive coordinator, and he'll have Coach Schofield, which will be working with the linebackers, as I said, and then Coach Mike Wilcoxon is working with the linebackers.
Okay. Hey, Nate, if you could, let's show that roster of the JV players. And ladies and gentlemen, you can tune into Troy Cable now, and the Mike Amos player introductions for each high school is being played now on Troy Cable 2, and you can see that. Let's go back to that JV roster, and leave it there for us, Nate, so we can go over those players. There they are. All right, let's see. The first one is
C.J. Griffin, excuse me.
Number one. You
Griffin,
cannot see that
one.
maybe on the screen, but C.J. Griffin, okay? And you can go down the roster, Robin.
And number 2 is Cade Brookins, and Cade's going to play both JV and varsity. Number 3 is Park Snyder. Number 4 is Jack Baggett.
If you will, Coach, can you tell us kind of where they may play? Let's go back up to C.J. Griffin. What position?
CJ's probably going to play he's going to be an athlete. Okay. Basically, he's going to play some quarterback. He's going to play some running back. He's probably going to play some receiver on the offensive side, and then on the defensive side, I'm sure he'll play some defensive back. Okay. You know, it just really depends. With our JV program, the way we do it at 7 through 9, and we've got several ninth graders that are going to contribute some on Friday nights, as well as in the JV games. And of course, they'll be playing roles on Friday night that they, you know, to help the team out. Then on Tuesday, they'll probably be playing roles that we hope they'll play in the future. So that's what we're trying to do, is prepare them for that.
What about Cade Brookins?
Cade Brookins will he'll do several different things as well. He'll mainly be a receiver and probably a defensive back or a linebacker on defense.
All right.
And then you got Park Snyder, which will be a receiver, probably a defensive back or defensive end on defense. You got Jack Baggett. Jack will probably play some receiver, and then defensive end, linebackers on defense. And you got Rhodes Baker. And Rhodes is going to be, and Jack may as well, you know, we may have to, depending on our numbers and how things work out, they may even play some offensive line for us. You know, that's an area that we don't have as many numbers, so we may have to use some of these other guys that
they're going to be tall and they've got leverage.
They do. They do.
Okay, who else we got, Coach?
Number 6 is Dalton Jordan. Dalton's going to play, be one of our main defensive guys, of course, and probably play some linebacker, maybe some, you know, he's going to be a utility guy there where we can use different places. And then probably on offense, he may run the ball some, and he may be a receiver some. Next after that is number 7, Connor Lindsey. Connor's going to be one of the main quarterbacks, and he'll split time with Dawson Bradford, who is there next at number 8. And, of course, Connor and Dawson both will play and share time at quarterback, but they'll also probably play some receiver on offense and do some different things there for us. And then on defense, they'll probably both play some defensive back and linebackers, defensive end type of positions. Next, you have number 10, Tyler Cross. Tyler will be a receiver on offense and a defensive back on defense.
And I like his haircut.
I know, I do too. He's got a nice little haircut. And I told him, and we worked on this today, and some of, you know, coaching JV and middle school ball over the years, you know, his size and his quickness, sometimes we like to put the guys on defensive line like that. It can be quicker than the offensive guys, and they get in the backfield and make a lot of plays. And we've been successful doing doing that. So he may play a little defensive line and try to disrupt the offensive scheme that they try to run. Number 11 is Jackson Booth, and Jackson will be a receiver, running back on offense, and just a utility guy, athletic guy, and he'll probably play some defensive back, linebacker on defense. You got Braylon Jackson, and this kid has got some wheels. He can move it, and he's going to be playing some running back, receiver, and then defensive back for us on defense. Pruitt Vaughn, he's another one of those guys that he actually may play center for us. And, you know, and we may rotate it around. Some games he may move into his normal position of a receiver or something, you know, some other position on offense, and then he'll be playing some defensive line and linebackers on defense. Then you got Will Scott. Will play receiver on offense and defensive back on defense. And Dwan Williams, which we call Nemo, is got some kind of incredible talent. He's going to play probably a good bit on varsity on Friday nights. I mean, he's just a really good athlete, and we're looking for big things from him. And like I said, we call him Nemo, and he's going to be one of our main running backs and a utility player as well, where we may move him around to be able to give him the ball in other places. And then defensively, he'll probably be a defensive end or linebacker for us. Cody Law, he'll be a receiver on offense and probably a defensive back, and probably play some linebacker for us as well. Number 50 is Renardo Boyd, and Renardo is new to the program, so he just gotten to us, so we're still figuring out where he'll play and what he'll do, but probably going to be on the offensive and defensive line somewhere. Tucker Vaughn is going to be an offensive and defensive line. Garrett Whitaker as well. He's just now getting out. Some of these guys played on the World Series baseball team, so we're just now getting some of these guys. So we're still trying to figure out where they'll be. But Garrett's going to help us in several different places, both offensively and defensively. Then you got John Meadows, who will be an offensive lineman and probably a defensive lineman. Daquan Williams, which is his brother, is DeJuan, and they're twins. And we call Daquan Little Bubba, and Little Bubba is going to play offensive and defensive line for us. And we're excited to have both of them. And then Braden Pyron, he's been working hard and will play offensive and defensive line for us. And then Coy Bell, which is our anchor, our big guy, and he's going to be on offense and defensive line as well. And then lastly, on down there, and we've got a couple other guys that have come out here in the last day or so, again, because of the World Series team. But Cole Garrett, he hasn't had a chance to pick his number yet, but he's going to be playing for us and probably be a utility player.
Hey, Nate, if we can go to the schedule for the JV, of course, this Friday night, Escambia Academy and Hugh Fountain and that bunch will come from Canoe, Alabama, in Escambia County, and travel to Pike Liberal Arts to play the Patriots. Kickoff's at 7 this Friday night, August the 20th. And here's our schedule. Your first game, Coach, is I see at home against Glenwood, followed by Edgewood away, Houston Academy at home.
Well, now Houston Academy, this is a Pee Wee and JV game.
Oh, that's okay.
So the 2 Houston Academy games are for the Pee Wee only. It's not a JV game, but all the other games are JV, and some of them, like Edgewood, is just a JV game, and then the 2 Edgewood games are just JV games.
So your first game is home against Glenwood.
That's right.
Okay,
first home game.
One game at a time. And well, a couple of things I want to mention to the to the audience. Next week, we're going to give away a few items on the show, some couple of certificates to the restaurants that are sponsored, or that are our sponsors here on the show. Tonight, after the show, find the Braves baseball team. They're playing the Miami Marlins, and tonight, Brax Garrett, he's part of Troy, Alabama. He's pitching for the Marlins. And last I checked, the score was 1-1. That was about an hour ago. So Brax is pitching tonight. I think they're playing in Miami.
That's right. They are in Miami. And of course, I'll chime in here for a second if you don't mind. And, Brax, I had the privilege of coaching with his dad, Steve Garrett, when he was at Charles Henderson. And Steve is a super guy. And, of course, he is married to Megan Graham, who is an alumnus of Charles Henderson High School. And both of those are fine people. And I wish, we all hope Brax does real well, and, wish them all the best of luck in what he's doing.
And I taught 3 of the Graham girls in Joy. I didn't teach her, but she did her internship.
That's right.
And I know Danny and Courtney are proud of their 5 girls. But next week, we have Perry Brown. He's got roots in heritage in Glenwood, Alabama, and Goshen, Alabama, and of course, Troy, Alabama. He's a pastor, and he also is a fabulous singer. He'll be on the show next week, along with Amy Warwick. Think the world of Amy, and of course, her dad, Jack, and her mother, Janie, are 2 of my favorite people. But Amy will be on the show next week as well, featuring the Goshen volleyball team. And I believe they may have already played a match. But Robin, we certainly, we'll go ahead and mention Meeks Termite again. Thank you for being a sponsor. They're one of our new sponsors. And Robin, I certainly want to thank you for being on the show. And go Patriots. And I know you are a hot sauce loving kind of fella. But this is Chimney Rock Hot Sauce. Go to www.chimneysauce.com. Take the leap, and you can order it online. But this is a fabulous hot sauce. And Robin Snyder and his dad loves hot things. Bart, not so much. And yesterday was Brian's birthday, his older brother.
That's right.
But here's your
gift.
Thank
you.
Do you like
very much.
You want some skinless salted peanuts, or you want some honey roasted?
Either one of them. Either one. Let me have the honey roasted.
Honey
Those
roasted.
sound good.
You can get these at the Pike Farmers Co-op here in Troy, Alabama, in Goshen. And thank you so much for joining us on the show. Our replay will be this Wednesday from 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock at Troy Cable. I want to thank Nate Braystead in the booth, and we'll be back next week for good news and interviews with Forrest Lee. Thank you, Robin. Appreciate you coming.
Yes, sir.